And on to the details now. India's former Prime Minister and veteran Congress leader Manmohan Singh passed away in New Delhi. He took his last breath at All India Institute of Medical Science in New Delhi on Thursday evening. He was 92 years old and was ill for a long time. A distinguished economist and statesman, Manmohan Singh served 2 consecutive terms as Prime Minister, leading a coalition government under the Congress-led United Progressive Alliance from 2004 to 2014. He was the architect of India's economic liberalization in 1991 as Finance Minister in the P.V. Narasimha Rao government. Prime Minister Manmohan Singh was born on 26 September 1932 in the Punjab province of undivided India. Dr. Singh earned a first-class honours degree in economics in 1957 from University of Cambridge, United Kingdom. He also completed DPhil in economics from Nuffield College at Oxford University in 1962. Well, India has announced a 7-day period of national mourning following the death of former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh, who passed away on Thursday night at the age of 92. All government programs scheduled on Friday have been cancelled. National mourning of 7 days declared. Cabinet to meet at 11 a.m. Last rites to be conducted with full state honours. And now let's look at Manmohan Singh profile. A distinguished economist and statesman, Manmohan Singh served 2 consecutive terms as Prime Minister, leading a coalition government under the Congress-led United Progressive Alliance from 2004 to 2014. He was the architect of India's economic liberalization in 1991 as Finance Minister in the P.V. Narasimha Rao government. Prime Minister Manmohan Singh was born on 26 September 1932 in the Punjab province of undivided India. Dr. Singh earned a first-class honours degree in economics in 1957 from University of Cambridge, United Kingdom. He also completed DPhil in economics from Nuffield College at Oxford University in 1962. In 1971, Dr. Singh joined the Government of India as Economic Advisor in the Commerce Ministry. This was soon followed by his appointment as Chief Economic Advisor in the Ministry of Finance in 1972. Among the many governmental positions that Dr. Singh has occupied are Secretary in the Ministry of Finance, Deputy Chairman of the Planning Commission, Governor of the Reserve Bank of India, Advisor of the Prime Minister and Chairman of the University Grants Commission. Dr. Singh spent 5 years between 1991 and 1996 as India's Finance Minister. His role in ushering in a comprehensive policy of economic reforms is now recognized worldwide. Many awards and honours conferred upon Dr. Singh in his public career. Dr. Singh was conferred with India's second highest civilian honour, the Padma Vibhushan, in 1987. Along with this, he was conferred with Jawaharlal Nehru Birth Centenary Award of the Indian Science Congress, the Asia Money Award for Finance Minister of the Year 1993-94, the Euro Money Award for Finance Minister of the Year 1993, the Adam Smith Prize of the University of Cambridge 1956, and the Wrights Prize for Distinguished Performance at St. John's College in Cambridge 1955. Dr. Singh had represented India at many international conferences and in several international organizations. He also led Indian delegations to the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in Cyprus and to the World Conference on Human Rights in Vienna in 1993. In his political career, Dr. Singh has been a member of India's upper house of parliament, the Rajya Sabha, since 1991, where he was leader of the opposition between 1998 and 2004. Dr. Manmohan Singh was sworn in as Prime Minister on 22nd May after the 2004 general elections and took the oath of office for a second term on 22nd May 2009. Well, India's President Draupadi Murmu condoled the demise of former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh. She expressed her grief on X, writing, Former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh ji was one of those rare politicians who seamlessly bridged the worlds of academia and administration. In his various roles in public office, he made critical contributions to reforming India's economy. He will always be remembered for his service to the nation, his unblemished political life, and his utmost humility. His passing is a great loss to all of us. I pay my respectful homage to one of the greatest sons of Bharat and convey my heartfelt condolences to his family, friends, and admirers. Unquote. India's Vice President Jagdeep Thankar wrote on X, and I quote, "Deeply pained to learn about the passing of Dr. Manmohan Singh ji, former Prime Minister and a distinguished economist who transformed India's economic landscape. His profound understanding of economy, gentle demeanour and unwavering commitment to India's progress will forever be etched in my memory. In Dr. Singh's passing, India has lost a leader of towering intellect and a statesman par excellence. His legacy will forever guide Bharat's growth trajectory." Unquote. And India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi expressed grief on demise of former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh and shared his condolences on social media platform X. As India mourns the loss of one of its most distinguished leaders, Dr. Manmohan Singh ji, rising from humble origins, he became a respected economist and held various important government positions, including that of finance minister, where he left a lasting impact on our economic policy. His interventions in Parliament were insightful and valuable. As Prime Minister, he made extensive efforts to improve the lives of the people. Unquote. Also taking to X, Prime Minister Modi further wrote, "Dr. Manmohan Singh ji and I interacted regularly when he was Prime Minister and I was the Chief Minister of Gujarat. We would have extensive deliberations on various subjects relating to governance. His wisdom and humility were always visible. In this hour of grief, my thoughts are with the family of Dr. Manmohan Singh ji, his friends and countless admirers. Om Shanti." Unquote. The Speaker of the lower house of Indian Parliament, Lok Sabha, Om Birla, also expressed his condolences on the social platform X, writing, and I quote, "The demise of former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh ji is extremely sad. Apart from being an eminent economist and an enlightened politician, he'll always be remembered for his gentle and simple demeanour. As an efficient administrator, finance minister and prime minister, he served the nation for decades. My condolences are with Dr. Singh's family in this hour of grief. I pray to God to grant a place for his departed soul at his feet and give strength to the bereaved family and the nation." Unquote. And condoling the demise of former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, India's Minister of Home Affairs Amit Shah wrote on X, and I quote, "The news of the demise of former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh is extremely sad. From being the Governor of the Reserve Bank of India to the Finance Minister of the country, and as the Prime Minister, Dr. Manmohan Singh played an important role in the governance of the nation. I express my condolences to his family and supporters in this hour of grief. May Vaheguru grant peace to his soul and give strength to his family to bear this loss." And India's leader of opposition in the lower house, Lok Sabha, Rahul Gandhi, also expressed grief over the demise of former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh. He wrote, and I quote, "Manmohan Singh ji led India with immense wisdom and integrity. His humility and deep understanding of economics inspired the nation. My heartfelt condolences to Mrs. Kaur and the family. I've lost a mentor and guide. Millions of us who admired him will remember him with the utmost pride." Unquote. Well, reactions are pouring in over the demise of former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. Let's listen in.
डॉक्टर मनमोहन सिंह जी के निधन के बारे में जानकर बहुत गहरा दुख हुआ है। डॉक्टर मनमोहन सिंह जी इस देश में एक आर्थिक क्रांति लेके आए। डॉक्टर मनमोहन सिंह जी चाहे आरबीआई के गवर्नर रहे हों, वित्त मंत्री रहे हों या देश के प्रधानमंत्री 10 साल रहे हों, उन्होंने अपने व्यक्तित्व को इस तरह से देश के सामने रखा जैसे वो एक देश के सेवक हों। पाकिस्तान में जन्मे और भारत में आकर अपनी शिक्षा क्रांति के चलते उन्होंने देश की सबसे ऊंची पदवी पर पहुंचे, देश के प्रधानमंत्री के रूप में।
बहुत ही अच्छे दिल के वो आदमी थे, बहुत ही सीधे साधे आदमी थे, लेकिन बहुत बड़े अभ्यासु थे, बहुत बड़े अर्थतज्ञ थे। उनका नाम पूरे देश भर में अर्थतंत्र के माध्यम से बहुत बड़ा नाम था। तो अचानक उनका जाना हमारे लिए, सभी लोगों के लिए दुख की बात है।
He led a full life. It was a full life, extremely full life, and it was an extraordinarily distinguished life. Chief economic advisor, chief economic advisor, finance secretary, member secretary planning commission, governor Reserve Bank of India, deputy chairman planning commission, finance minister, prime minister. I can't think of anybody in India who's had all these posts and filled them with the greatest of distinction.
Also, condolences have also poured in from across the globe following the demise of Dr. Manmohan Singh. Leaders from neighbouring countries, including the US, Maldives and Afghanistan, expressed deep grief over his passing, highlighting his contributions and warm relations with their nations. The United States offered its condolences, with Secretary of State Antony Blinken saying that Singh was one of the greatest champions of the US-India strategic partnership. Former President of Afghanistan, Hamid Karzai, in a post on X, said that India has lost one of its most illustrious sons, calling him an unwavering ally and friend to the people of Afghanistan. Former Maldivian President Mohammad Nasheed wrote X that he found the former Prime Minister as a benevolent father figure and a good friend of Maldives. Russian ambassador to India also poured in grief. And still to come in this edition of DD India Live. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres calls on Mozambique's political leaders to defuse tensions. Russia welcomes Slovakia's proposal to host peace talks with Ukraine. And former world number one Simona Halep to skip upcoming Australian Open tournament.
"2024, the year the world woke up to climate's harsh realities and powerful progress." Let's explore the stories that shaped the year 2024. The Amazon, the parts of the North America burned brighter than ever this year. With wildfire and catastrophic weather on the rise, are we prepared for what's next? India's energy transition is inspiring the world. As we wrap up, it's clear that 2024 has been a year of immense climate challenges, but also of remarkable progress.
You're watching DD India Live. I'm Lipakshi Khurana, and moving on, South Korea's political crisis is far from over as the main opposition party introduced a bill to impeach acting President Han Duck-soo on Thursday. The decision came after Han announced that he will not appoint justices to the Constitutional Court. The voting will be held on Friday, and this move could deepen the country's constitutional crisis triggered by short-lived martial law. More in this report.
South Korea's opposition on Thursday claimed that they filed an impeachment motion against acting President Han Duck-soo, and they will hold a vote on Friday. Leaders accused President Han of obstructing the constitutional process to remove his predecessor, President Yoon Suk-yeol, from the office. The decision came after Han announced that he will not appoint justices to the Constitutional Court until the rival parties agree for a political compromise.
Prime Minister Han Duck-soo officially announced that he would not appoint a Constitutional Court judge, which is his constitutional duty. His statement effectively acknowledges himself not as an acting authority, but as an acting authority of treason.
The opposition Democratic Party had threatened to impeach President Han if he does not appoint 3 justices to fill the vacancies at the Constitutional Court. Parliament voted in favor of 3 nominees on Thursday, but they have yet to be formally appointed by Han. However, South Korea's ruling People Power Party urged the opposition party to stop its attempts to impeach acting president.
The Democratic Party's deluge and tsunami of impeachments has now gone beyond paralyzing the government to completely devastating state affairs. What the Democratic Party seeks to impeach today is not the acting president Han Duck-soo, but the government itself, the livelihoods of the public, diplomacy, and South Korea.
South Korea fell in a political crisis when President Yoon Suk-yeol declared martial law on 3rd December. Yoon was stripped of his duties by Parliament on 14th December over the dramatic declaration. But a constitutional court ruling upholding the decision by lawmakers is necessary to complete the impeachment process. The court is, however, currently short of 3 judges. While it can go ahead with its 6 members on the bench, and a single dissenting vote would reinstate Yoon. At the same time, if the impeachment motion passed on Friday, Finance Minister Choi Sang-mok would step in as acting president. Aman Kumar Himanshu's report for DD India.
While in the latest escalation in the conflict, Israel struck multiple targets linked to Houthis in Yemen, including Sana'a International Airport, leaving at least 6 people dead. In addition to striking the airport, the Israeli military said it also targeted military infrastructure at ports on Yemen's west coast and 2 power stations. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu vowed to continue its mission until it was complete. Defense Minister Katz added that Israel will continue attacking Houthis to remove threats to the state of Israel.
We have just seen a precise operation by the Israeli Air Force hitting specific Houthi targets in Yemen at the airport, at the port. As we said, whoever hurts Israel, we will hurt him. We will hunt down all the Houthi leaders, hit them as we have done elsewhere. No one will be able to escape Israel's long measure. We will attack them in order to remove threats to the state of Israel.
Well, Israel's retaliatory strikes comes as Houthis have repeatedly attacked the country with drones and missiles since the start of the Israel-Hamas conflict in Gaza. Meanwhile, the head of the United Nations World Health Organization, Tedros Ghebreyesus, said he and his colleagues were traveling through Yemen's Sana'a airport on Thursday when it came under attack. In a post on X, Tedros said that the airstrike hit as he and his colleagues were due to board a flight from Sana'a airport. And the United Nations has expressed concerns over Israel's latest airstrikes in Yemen, warning of further regional escalation, with a spokesperson of the UN chief, Antonio Guterres, saying that the airstrikes on Yemen's Sana'a International Airport, the Red Sea ports and power stations were particularly alarming.
The Secretary General remains deeply concerned about the risk of further escalation in the region and reiterates his call for all parties concerned to cease all military actions and to exercise utmost restraint. He also warns that airstrikes on Red Sea ports and Sana'a airport pose grave risks to humanitarian operations at a time when millions of people are in need of life-saving assistance.
Well, the UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres on Thursday called on Mozambique's political leaders to diffuse tensions that led to civil unrest linked to October's disputed election. A prison riot in Mozambique's capital, Maputo, left 33 people dead and 15 injured on Wednesday. A decision on Monday by Mozambique's top court confirming long ruling party Frelimo's victory in the election has sparked fresh nationwide protest by opposition groups and their supporters who say the vote was rigged. Meanwhile, Mozambique's main opposition leader accused security forces of allowing the unrest and looting in order to give the government an opportunity to declare a state of emergency and crush the protest. The UN chief spokesperson said in a press briefing that the Secretary General is concerned about the post-election violence which has resulted in loss of lives and the destruction of public and private property.
The Secretary General is concerned about the post-election violence which has resulted in loss of lives and the destruction of public and private property. He urges all political leaders and relevant national stakeholders to defuse tensions, including through meaningful dialogue, legal redress, refrain from the use of violence, and redouble efforts to seek a peaceful resolution to the ongoing crisis in a constructive manner, which is essential to the collective future of Mozambicans.
Well, Panama's President José Raúl Mulino denied on Thursday that there are Chinese soldiers in the canal that crosses the country. In response to recent comments by U.S. President Donald Trump has accused Chinese soldiers of illegally operating the canal. Trump threatened that the United States would retake control over the canal, which it administered for decades, and has argued that Panamanian authorities are ripping off U.S. ships that cross it with high tariffs. In response to recent comments by Trump, Mulino said at a press conference that there is not a single Chinese soldier in the canal and that he will wait until January 20th to talk on this and many other issues.
There is not a single Chinese soldier in the canal, and on the other hand, it is not going to happen. We maintain a respectful and well-managed relationship with China in terms of what is in the interest of both countries. At this moment, Mr. Trump is not the president, nor does he have any government. So whatever he says, I will clarify it, and on my side, I will wait until January 20th to have an official government in front of me to talk about this and many other issues.
And moving on, Russian President Vladimir Putin attended a Eurasian Economic Union summit on Thursday. Amid talks of ceasefire in the Russia-Ukraine conflict, Putin said that Russia welcomes Slovakia's proposal to host peace talks with Ukraine, emphasizing Moscow's commitment to resolving the conflict.
As for the place for talks, yes, Fico said if it comes to negotiations, they would be happy to provide their own country as a platform for such negotiations. We are not opposed if it comes to that. Why not? Since Slovakia takes a neutral position. In our opinion, this position is neutral and Slovakia as host for talks is an acceptable option for us.
Well, Finnish authorities seized the Russian-owned ship Eagle S in the Baltic Sea on Thursday, suspecting it caused a major disruption to critical infrastructure. The ship, believed to belong to Russia's Shadow Fleet, allegedly damaged 4 undersea cables, 2 fiber optic links between Finland and Estonia, a third to China, and 1 connecting Finland to Germany. Authorities say an anchor from the Eagle S may be responsible for the damage, leading to the outage of the Estlink 2 power cable. The outage raises concerns about power supply during winter. NATO and the US are closely monitoring the situation, underscoring the importance of international cooperation to safeguard vital undersea infrastructure. And on to some sports news. In cricket, Indian players sported black armbands to mourn the loss of former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh on Day 2 of Boxing Day Test in Melbourne Cricket Ground. On the opening of Day 2, Pat Cummins and Steve Smith duo piles on quick rounds as Australia cross 400 mark. Smith hits his 34th century or 167 balls in Test cricket and his 5th century at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. Later, Jadeja removed Cummins, breaking the 112-run partnership with Smith. India bowlers looked perplexed as they continue to hunt for wickets. At lunch, Australia is 454 for the loss of 7 wickets. Early on Day 1, Australia reached 311 runs for the loss of 6 wickets at stumps, which were aided by teenage opener Sam Costes, who stole the show on his debut, blasting 60 of 65 balls. And former world number 1 Simona Halep will skip the Australian Open due to pain in her knee and shoulder. Halep had received a wild card for the Australian Open qualifying tournament last week. She had finished runner-up at the tournament in 2018. The 33-year-old last played at the World Tennis League exhibition event in Abu Dhabi last week. Her career was stalled due to a doping ban, which was reduced to 9 months on appeal this year. All right, that's all for this edition of DT India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DT India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download now. Well, we'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DT India. I'm Lepakshi Khurana from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DT India Live.